So today what we have here is Darshan pure Guggal. So it comes in a pack like this. It's a nice yellow, red. Namaste everyone and welcome to Om Incense Show with DJ, a show that helps you increase your incense quotient. So if you are an incense enthusiast, consider subscribing. So today what we have here is Darshan pure Guggal. So it comes in a pack like this. It's a nice yellow, red, orange brown type of a color, and it has English branding on both the sides. The branding is same on both the sides if you see, and it just says Darshan. Oh, by the way, they also have this thing which says 50 years since 1970, so that's what they have on top. Then they have the logo Darshan, Mehke Man Hoke Prasann, and then pure Guggal. It says natural incense sticks, carbon free, extra thick. And then we have a very nice picture of a man walking home, I guess, after the long day's work. He has his on his bullock cart and the sun is setting. So this is what we can see there. And a bowl of Guggal, of course, because most people like to have this kind of incense at dawn and dusk. So that's the reason I think they've given it like that. So this is what we have, the packaging on both sides. On one side we have the address, the Darshan logo, a few other logos, and we have the scanning code, the barcode, and it says 60 grams for 60 rupees. This is what we have. And on the other side we have the caution and some other eco-friendly, sustainable, vegan things and all. It says pure Guggal, natural incense stick, carbon free. This is what we have. So, and on both the openings we just have this Darshan pure Guggal, and they have other variants also in this. I think they have Kapoor in this. I tried to look for Kapoor, I couldn't find it, but I'll still look for it again, and I really want to try that Kapoor. I wanted to try Guggal because, as you know, I'm sure by now you know that Guggal is one of my favorite fragrances, because I like traditional fragrances, so like sandal, frankincense, Guggal, rose and jasmine, these are my favorite fragrances. So Guggal I really wanted to try, so I got this. And this is 60 grams of incense for 60 rupees. What we get inside is this branded pouch with we get two pouches like this, and each of these pouch has around, I guess, 12 to 13 incense sticks. So that's what we have. So both of these makes around what, 27, 24, 25, 24, 25 sticks, so like that. And we get two of these pouches. What we get inside are these normal, natural, the usual 9-inch incense sticks, and we have nice sturdy bamboo core to it, so it's like beige colored. The incense is brown in color, but it has a tinge of what do I say, something like it's like a little reddish type of a tinge. I don't know if you can see that. Just see, it's not exactly brown, but yes, it's a nice stick, and like they said, it's thicker, so it's thicker compared to other sticks. It's definitely machine made and dipped incense. So this is what we have. This incense goes, even though it's just a machine made incense, and because it's thicker, it goes on for around an hour or so. The burn time is quite good. And this fragrance reminds me of some ashram. I can't exactly say what. I remember when I was in class 4 or so, there was this girl in class 3, and she believed in that Sai Baba, the one who has the hair like that. So she believed in him, and I guess her mother frequented that ashram. So I always got this kind of fragrance from her body, from around her. So this actually typically reminds me of an ashram. For that matter, even when I visited Aurobindo Ashram, like I told you in Delhi, I keep visiting that place to get my incenses from there, because we get it at really good discount, and there's a whole library of incense there. It's a whole universe of incense there. So I really like to visit that place at times and get my incenses from there. So there also I've got this fragrance. So it's like, it's a combination of so you don't get that pure Guggal fragrance like the kind of Guggal that you would get while you put it in the oven, if you're doing oven and you just put it there. The kind of fragrance that you get from that Guggal, that is not what you get here. You get something which will also remind you of Loban. So this will make you feel like it's a mix of Guggal and Loban. So that's the kind of fragrance that you get from the top note. That blend is the only single note that you get from there, and that's the only thing that you have. And it's very, very mild, of course, because it's cold incense, and then that's the top note. So that's what we have. Now when we light up the incense, what we get is this, like I told you, that blend of Guggal and Loban. So it's not exactly, even though they say, you know, like, so some whiffs you will get like pure Guggal that I told you, that you know, the pure Guggal that you put in the oven, that is what you get. But some of the whiffs, the, you know, the overall feel that you get while the incense is alive and, you know, it's going on, it's like, so I told you that blend that you get. So you get a blend of you get that fragrance of a mix of Guggal and Loban, but you do get a whiff, certain whiffs of, you know, pure Guggal. But somehow I like this incense. And the diffusion, the fragrance intensity, if we talk of the intensity, it's mild, it's milder than mild. So it's not even mid mild, it's like lower mild. And if you have somebody who likes mild incenses, they would probably like this. But if somebody who likes extremely mild incense, then this is not for them. This is like somewhere between the mid mild and the lower mild, so it's like there. So that's the kind of fragrance this has. If you like rich incense fragrance, if you like something which is like nice and heavy, and which is like a thick heavy bodied fragrance, and this is not for you. This incense fragrance has a very frail body. It makes its presence felt, but it's like I told you, the strength is quite frail. So that's the kind of you know, intensity it has. Now because the intensity is so low, the diffusion also is to not to a very large area. So like in my house, if I light it up in one room, the fragrance stays just there. If I light it, what happens is, some, you know, when you light up incenses in a closed space, only if it's a very, very strong incense. Like I remember I had lit up the Royal Secret incense from Cycle brand in my parents' house, and that fragrance, like, it was like in the entire house. But with most fragrances, what happens is, if you light it up, and especially the mild ones, if you light it up in a closed room, the fragrance stays just there. But if I light it up in an open space, like if I have to light it up in the entrance, at the entrance of my house, which I usually do, then it actually goes on to a large area, and, you know, people do come exactly asking not for this incense, but for any incense that I light up. They really like it, and they come asking for, you know, the name of the incense. So that's the kind of fragrance this also has. When lit up at the entrance, it spreads to a large area. But when it's lit up in one room, it's probably going to stay there itself. Now when talking of retention, what happens with retention is that you know, if you have a lot of upholstery in your room, curtains, you know, thick bed sheets and blankets and carpets and, you know, rugs and all of those things, then there are chances of these fragrance molecules getting lodged into those cloth particles, those fabric particles, and remain there for quite some time. And because it's winters now, so I have, of course, my blanket and my velvet bed sheet, the woolen bed sheet that we have. So the retention was for around 3 to 4 hours. But I think if you do not have the upholstery, the retention will be around 2 to 3 hours. But if you like that kind of intensity in a fragrance which is like mild, and which doesn't stay for long, which doesn't spread to a large area, which doesn't actually invite undue attention from people, then you would like this. But you know, if you're looking, like I said, if you're looking for a nice, rich, heavy fragrance, this is not for you. But I like the Guggal fragrance that it has. The Guggal whiffs that I got, I really like those. And the Guggal Loban fragrance blend that you get mostly 90% of the times is not something that appears extremely pleasant to me. I don't know, because of my hostel life that I remember. So that's the kind of fragrance this is. And if you like that kind of fragrance, you would like this. I sort of like it, not exactly a lot, but it's fine for me. You know, I can use up this incense pack. So that's the kind of fragrance this is. So I'd like to give it a star rating of 3, and I'd definitely like to try the Karpoor variant also for this of this. So this is pure Guggal, Hari Darshan pure Guggal. For those of you Hari Darshan fans, this one is for you. So this is there. Now the incense quiz that we had last time is name the incense service of Cycle brand which helps you make customized incense. So the name of the service is My Incense, and if you haven't tried it, you must try it. You can, you get nice blend. You can get to have your own blend of incense fragrance. You have a nice option of creating incense for an occasion or for a deity or for a particular purpose. So all those things are there. You just go there, log on to cycle.in and check out that My Incense service, and probably you'll like it, and you might just get whatever you want there. So you can make incense sticks, you can make incense cones, incense powder, and dhoop sticks, the incense sticks without bamboo core, so that also you can have. And of course you can give it your own name and tagline, and they'll select a picture for you and they'll send it that way. It takes a little time. I think it takes around 15 days for them to create that whole thing for you. So you might just want to keep that in mind. And it doesn't actually, you can't expect it to be very cheap. It comes at around anywhere between 200 to 300. So that's the kind of thing you'll get, if depending on what you've chosen to buy, because that we have an option of getting 20 incense sticks, or probably 20 incense cones, or 40 incense cones. So depending on that also, and of course depending on the fragrances, the kind of blends that you've chosen. So I know of many people who have done that. I have also done it, and I like the experience of it. So that is My Incense. Now the quiz that we have today is, name the incense ingredient that's supposed to bring about a good relationship vibe between couples or between people staying in the house, especially couples, people who are intimately involved with each other. So that's the kind of it brings about a nice, if there is any problem in their relationship, in the kind of vibes that they share, it probably tries to calm it down, pacify it, and bring about a good relationship balance between them. So that's the kind of trait that this incense ingredient has. So name that incense ingredient. So that's the quiz for today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode and you learned something from it. This is Dolly Jha here. I thank you so much for watching this episode. Until we meet again next, take very good care of yourself. Namaste.